but she hated, but she's learned that that is me, so I don't say the wrong thing. You know what I mean? I'll just walk away. I'm like, hey, we're not gonna solve anything right now. I do understand we still have issues. I'm gonna go over here and we'll come back and we'll talk about it a little bit later. So yeah, I leave the room. 50 Cent comes out for the most part. If 50 Cent decides to stay.
That's probably smart. Well, two things you put on your Instagram, which I thought were very, you said to Cynthia, I love you, baby, but I also like you. I thought that was a very powerful message because simple, but true, right? Lots of people that are married don't like each other. And then the second thing is you said, no peach needed. No peach needed when you've got my heart in your hands.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, first, to address the first is like, I think there is a difference in love and like. I can love I love the world. I love everybody I encounter. I love my enemies. I don't necessarily like them and I don't want to be around them. If you like somebody, you want to be around them. You want to hang out with them. Cynthia is my best friend. I like Cynthia. I don't always care for her in that manner and like her, her attitude or her personality, just like she doesn't always like my attitude or personality. But for the most part, I really like her and I'll always have unconditional love for her, just like I have unconditional love for anybody that I've ever been in a serious relationship with. That's just, that goes without saying. But as far as the other thing, obviously, it was something that, it wasn't a slight at Housewives. It wasn't anything negative towards them, anything like that. But she had just decided that she was moving on. And then, Cynthia will admit this, that when you leave something after 11, 12 years, there might be a little anxiety. She knows she's doing the right thing, but there could be a little anxiety about certain things like, okay, am I doing the right thing? When you take that leap of faith, am I really making the right commitment? So having a peach in your hand doesn't make you. It didn't make her before she started having a peach. One thing that I love about Cynthia is that Housewives did not make her who she is. People knew who Cynthia Bailey was long before the Housewives. She enhanced the show, and the show obviously enhanced her profile a little bit more and gave her more of a platform to be the person. But I just think that the next 15, 20, 25 years of her life professionally is going to blossom now without the show. And so if there was any anxiety of feeling like, okay, man, did I do the right thing by not holding on to that peach? I'm letting her know you don't need that peach. You don't really need my heart, to be honest with you, but you have my heart, meaning you have my support, you have my commitment, you have my desires, you have everything I need to do, my push to make sure that you get through this part of your life and to catapult you not only in a professional manner, but in a personal manner to be the best possible Cynthia Bailey Hill that you can possibly be. So that's what I meant by that.
And she was there for a long time. So like you said, even though it's still change, change is, even if you decide to do it and there's so many great things around, it's still a change and it's hard to deal with like overnight.
It was hard for me. And the same thing, I'm constantly going through a transition, and it was to go from being a sportscaster, a successful sportscaster too, being at ESPN, still being at Fox Sports, and could have pursued it even more and done. I was like, you know what? It's time for me to make a transition because my heart is telling me and my mindset is telling me that this is where I'm needed now. This is where I'm more passionate. So that's why I got into news hosting and wanted to do more acting or whatever and stuff like that. So yeah, it is tough, but at the same time, you look back and like, oh man, I was doing all right over there. Life was really good. I was making a lot of money over here. The money, I got to dip down in order to go back up because I got to prove myself again. But in the end, trust God, knowing that you're doing the right thing, trust your heart and trust your gut and your instincts, and the money will come, and the success, the fame, the glory, and everything will come because you're on the path that you're intended to be.
It will. Is any part of you, like, are you sad? And is any part of you, you would have done what Cynthia wanted, I'm sure, because you're a supportive husband, but is any part of you like secretly, relieved? It's a lot of stress to be on these shows, as you know.
I like you said, whatever Cynthia wanted to do, then I'm down for it, and I completely support her. No, I did. I know people have been asking her, did I have anything to do with it? Nope, not at all. And I told her from the start, because one thing I will share with you is that Cynthia's like, what is this? Sometimes that can mess up your relationship, and we've seen how it messes up relationships, and I don't want that to happen. So she was willing to, I said, baby, don't worry about us because we got us. We're going to give them what they want, what they need, but at the same time, we're not going to give them everything because we have a bubble that we don't let that many people in. So just because it's a reality show doesn't mean that you're going to go deep into our deepest secrets and we're going to give them that. And I'm not going to do stupid stuff. We're not going to do stupid stuff to give them ammunition to come at us. You know what I mean? That's the key for it. So that had nothing to do with it. But there were times when it was stressful on her. And when it's stressful on her, obviously you as a family member, her husband, to be exact, would feel that stress that she felt. And I don't want her to go through that. I don't want her to go through that stress, that pain, and arguing for no reason for somebody. Like, why am I even beefing with this person and I ain't doing anything wrong? You know what I mean? Why is she coming at me? And why is it, so yeah, there are parts of you that's like a little relieved, but I'm more excited because I know the possibilities for Cynthia when she commits to it. And she is committed to it. Right now, she's out doing Access Hollywood. When she's doing that and she's doing E and she's doing everything else and all that and all the hosting opportunities and acting opportunities, I'm excited because I know that she is only going to catapult and grow from here and become an even bigger star than she is.
I would agree with all that. How did you guys, is it because you guys both did handle it. It's kind of like you said, when Housewives is over and it will end for everybody, like you're able to be on BNC, she's able to be on Access Hollywood, and there's 1,000 opportunities for her and you, because you never went there. Exactly what you said. You'll do what you got to, but you never showed them all. That's why you can have a career now and she can have a career for a long time. Are you shocked that not everybody, most people don't realize that?
Yeah, you're talking about like the people that are on these reality shows.
Yeah.
And this might be a little controversial, but Cynthia didn't need the reality show to make her. There are a lot of people that are, and I'm not saying any names, but there are a lot of people that their identity is the reality show. People know who they are because of reality show. So they need to do certain things, and I ain't saying sell their soul because it might be exactly who they are, but they need to do that in order to stay employed in a sense, right? Cynthia has never had to do that. I've always said that the thing I admire the most about her, even when I met her on Steve Harvey's show, because when they asked me to come on there just to play the game, and they said, hey, would you go on there and meet one of the Real Housewives of Atlanta? I was like, which one? Bottom line, which one? Because it matters. I'm not saying which one I wouldn't have gone on there for, but yeah, when they said Cynthia, it was like, yeah, because she's classy and she's always maintained her class. And if they ever gave out an award for reality shows, a class award for reality shows, it should be named after Cynthia, because this woman was on there for 11 years and maintained her brand intact for 11 years, despite all the drama that was happening around her. And she's coming out smelling like roses. So yeah.
You can also give a class on that too in your spare time, because I agree. Most people are known because they're on the show, and it's just, you then can't get a job afterwards. I mean, Housewives will end at some point, like everything comes to an end.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but that's why I was telling her she needed to parlay that. I told her one thing I will say is I said, because of that, everybody has an expiration date. I had an expiration date at ESPN. I could be at the worldwide, the best sports network there is, right? And sooner or later, I'm like, I need to start thinking about my exit strategy. How am I going to take that next step? When am I going to step into? Because one day they're going to come to me and say, hey, Mike, it's been great. Thank you for your service, but it's time for, we're going to go in a different direction. So before they do that, how can I set myself up to ensure that I have a smooth transition over here? So I'm not necessarily get you before you get me, but I'm already going to be prepared for if that day happens. And hopefully I will put myself in a position that I can make that move before you even start thinking about it.